So yes, it finished goalless in the end then between Brentford and Tottenham. Tottenham, my goodness, what a week it's turned out to be for them, because as we were talking about earlier on, Cass, there they are in pole position in fourth spot, and they've gone through a resurgence. It looks as though everything's clicking at the right time, and then they've had two successive defeats, and coupled with two now successive victories for Arsenal. It's been a real turnaround in fortunes for both sides in recent games. Now gone 2 games without scoring a goal, Spurs, not even having a shot on target in 2 games. How worrying is that for Antonio Conte when they're trying to secure that 4th spot?
I can't give an answer on that, because that front three are terrific. You know, Kulusevski is a top player come in. Kane, well, we don't have to say too much about him. Heung-min Son.
You say that, but yesterday, very poor.
Yeah, no, look, any given day we can, players can play badly and not have a decent game. I mean, you probably got to give a lot of credit to your football club, because you play 3 at the back and you do it as well as anybody in the Premier League, which is a very difficult formation to get right. I think there's very few teams that get it right. I think Chelsea at their best can do it. But Brentford do it as brilliantly as anybody I've seen. Chrissy Wilder come up with Sheffield United playing 3 at the back. It's a very difficult thing to do and get results, because that's why most clubs play 4 at the back. It's a little bit more safer. There's more space when you play 3 at the back. But Brentford have got a lot of energy. You've got Rico Henry out wide on one side.
Wing back,
You've got the boy Godas, isn't it?
Well, he played yesterday, Godas. He wouldn't traditionally play as a wing back for us, but we've had a lot of injuries. So, it had to be rejigged. Someone like Ahmad Ruslev perhaps would play as a right wing back, but he slotted into that 3 defence that you were mentioning there. In fact, we came into that game with no Ayer, no Pinnock, so they'd be our traditional back 3 alongside Pontus Jansson. No Zanka either, who has come in and replaced one of those when they've been missing. No Christian Norgard, who I think prior to yesterday or this weekend had the best tackling success rate in the Premier League. No Canos, who's played at right wing back as well. So a lot of injuries for Brentford to come into that game, and yet I felt they coped really, really well. And I'm sure, as much as you would have said before kickoff that have taken a point against the Spurs side, who in the main have been playing pretty well recently, would have thought they deserved more from that game, because they were the better team.
What's been terrific for Brentford probably, Nat, was you had a terrible January and a terrible February, where you'd won 1 game, Villa at home, and the 2nd of Jan. And then that was it. You didn't win a game till March in the Premier League. And that's been a huge change at Brentford. Fair look. It's when you're looking at Spurs and you're thinking what a dangerous team they can be, and then suddenly the top 4 places up for grabs, and you think they're the favourites, and it's flipped on its the other side of the coin, isn't it? The last week or so, they've done an Arsenal. If you know what I'm saying, that's what they've done. They've done Arsenal. Well, Arsenal in great position. 2 games you think they're going to win, and they get beat.
Harry Kane hasn't scored in 6, and in fact, he himself has not had a shot on target for 4 games. Maybe part of that is down to he's been dropping a little bit deep at times, being a bit more of a playmaker. We know that. But again, when you're coming into this crucial part of the season where Arsenal now have come good in the last 2. Antonio Conte, surely he's waking up this morning scratching his head thinking, what am I going to do here? How am I going to turn this around? Because we were at one stage going really, really well.
Well, Kane's a brilliant player, and he's played fantastic over this period. Apart from yesterday, and he's been terrific. He's made a lot of goals. He'll come good, because he's a goal scorer, and he regularly gets 20 plus every season. So I wouldn't be too concerned there. It's just how do you justify bad form at the worst part of the season? Because when you're in a run-in, whether you're fighting relegation or whether you're trying for a Champions League top spot or trying to win the league, the last thing you want from your squad of players is run into a bit of indifferent form. And that's what they've done.
Well, after the game, the Brentford manager spoke to talkSPORT, and he said he was gutted that they didn't beat Spurs.
No, I think, again, a top performance, no doubt about that. Against a team that is chasing top 4, and we know maybe the most dangerous front two in Song and Kane. We hold them to the bare minimum throughout the game, with a lot of injuries. So we have Ethan Pinnock, Christopher Ayer, that normally played the 2 outside centre backs. The alternative most likely would be Matthias Zanka. Then Mads Rorsel put a wing back. He couldn't. then it would have been Sergi. He's also injured, so Simon Goddard. So Simon Goddard, Mads Rorslev, Mads Beck, fantastic stepping in. Vitali stepping in instead of Christian Nørgaard, or number 6 that has normally been one of our best this season. And that's big credit to the staff and everyone involved.
Yeah, so there's Thomas Frank confirming the injury issues that Brentford had coming into that game against Tottenham, but they'll be delighted to have got something out of it. And actually, Cass, you know this? No London club has done the double over Brentford this season. That's something for us to be happy about.